Hi, this is TapCat, and today I want to talk about shotguns and the rangers who use them. While working on my latest War of the Chosen video, I was in the process of documenting the extent to which the assassin's weapons could be considered an upgrade to what a ranger's existing arsenal is, when I discovered something very interesting and a little alarming, and it's time to share that with you. If you didn't see the latest War of the Chosen live stream from Firaxis, there's a part toward the end where they're using a save from relatively late in the campaign and have killed off the assassin for good. They showed us the stats for her weapons and how they look equipped on a ranger. In the past, they've emphasized that when a player brings weapons from one of the Chosen on a mission, they feel truly epic. Jake Solomon, the creative director for XCOM, took that claim a step further in last Thursday's stream and said that using these weapons is how a player could bring the existing classes in XCOM 2 up to parity with the new hero classes. They had already told us that each of the Chosen's weapons were tier 3, and that getting them before you've researched that far in the tech tree is an especially good boost. Fair enough, but what I wanted to know is whether this is significantly better than a storm gun or not. Now, I will do that comparison in an upcoming video, but in the process of looking at the two, what jumped out at me is that the crit chance for the assassin's shotgun, which is named Arashi, is 10%, and then it's getting a bonus of 15% from the superior laser sight. Now, for the sake of those who have actual lives and don't have the time or inclination to memorize the stats for all the weapons in XCOM 2, the standard shotgun available at the start of the campaign has a 10% crit chance. Once you research magnetic weapons, the shard gun bumps that up to 15%, and better still, unlock tier 3 gear, and the storm gun has a 20% chance to land a crit. So does that mean the Arashi is actually worse than the storm gun we already get? Well, no, I don't think it does, because in this same live stream, I was also able to capture an image of the shard gun stats, and it also has 10%. Not 15, 10. Now, given everything we're seeing and what we've been told, I don't believe the Arashi is going to be worse than a storm gun in any way. And if both it and the shard gun are sitting at a 10% crit rating, then so is the storm gun, most likely. As far as I can see, Firaxis has decided to dial rangers down a notch by nerfing the crit chance for the tier 2 gun by 5% and cutting tier 3 by 10. If that's true, then the logical follow-up question pretty much anyone will ask is how much of an effect this is really going to have in-game. Now, personally, I always equip a superior laser sight and Talon rounds as soon as I can, and those routinely give my ranger well over a 100% chance to crit. But that's only true when flanking enemies that take advantage of cover, because you get that 40% flanking bonus. Go up against an Archon, Gatekeeper, Sectopod, or an Andromedan in its second phase, to name just a few, and that bonus is no longer available. Even in the game today, you're in danger of moving right next to a very dangerous enemy with no guarantee you can finish it off. Increasing the odds of being hung out to dry like that, it's a little scary. Especially when you've taken abilities like Untouchable and Implacable, a ranger relies very heavily on being the one to get the kill, and a change like this could have a real impact against some of the tougher aliens in the game. One final note, I've been focusing on the shotgun so far because up until now, we've had the means to generate critical hits pretty reliably, whereas swords were always a lot more iffy. But it appears that once the development team started swinging the Nerf bat, they really enjoyed it, because swords used to have the same type of progression as shotguns, with crit chances of 10, 15, and 20%. And we see here that the arc blade is now at 10 instead of the 15 we'd normally expect. Even without seeing the fusion blade, I'm willing to bet that it will also be sitting at 10%, down from the 20 that it used to have. Unfortunately, rangers can count on dealing fewer critical hits in the mid to late game, and that's in spite of the fact they've already announced that at least some of our enemies in that phase of the campaign will have more health and be tougher to deal with. At least that's what it looks like to me. By all means, let me know your thoughts in the comments section. Am I missing something obvious? Do you think rangers needed to be nerfed? Let us know. And if you found this video interesting, then please give it a like to help other people find it. Especially for a small channel like mine, it can be a big help. If you're not already subscribed, you might want to do that, as I will continue to cover War of the Chosen through its release on August 29th and beyond. That's all for now though. Thanks for watching. I hope we see you next time.